This Climbing the Mountain podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome into Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast all about the WVU football season 2022, brought to you by Encova Insurance and Country Roads Trust. We are West Virginia's name, image, and likeness team. Of course, Encova Insurance is hard work and passion, and they are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. All right, it is my pleasure to welcome in AJ Jackson, defensive line coach. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, let's talk about the performance of Dante Stills this season before we talk about anything else. Boy, he has had a really special season. He's a special kid, has broken the record for tackles for loss. What has he meant to your unit this year?
He's our spark plug. I mean, he's a special guy. He works really hard, tremendous talent, and he's a born West Virginia guy, so it's just special to have him around. What's
it like to have a guy like that who is a leader and guys can kind of look up to and say, you know, I want to play like him? I mean, you know, you don't, in this day and age, you don't have guys that kind of have that longevity at one program, but this guy bleeds this program.
It makes it easier for me as a coach, for sure. I mean, I could just coach technique, and I can rely on Dante to kind of lay the groundwork. Number one, he was here before I was in general, so he kind of knows the lay of the land, but he knows what makes this place special. He knows the blue-collar mentality. He's lived it. He's grown it. Now he's making his own notch in it, you know, from his brother being a special player here and his dad as well. It's just, there's nothing I could say to him to motivate him. It all comes from, you know, family and what he's grown up around.
I actually saw him as I was walking in the building, and I hadn't seen him since he broke the record. I was like, Dante, congratulations, man. So proud of you. He goes, I appreciate that. He goes, I'd trade this all in for a win right now. And I was like, I know you would. And that just kind of speaks to what a team player he is.
Absolutely. I mean, even when he broke the record, he was upset that we lost. I mean, he celebrated himself, and you know, he was excited about it, but he really wanted to win the football game, and that's really special to see.
I know you guys really want to win right now as well. I mean, a 3-game losing streak, but you welcome in an OU team that's a little different than an OU team we've seen in the past. Of course, they have a new head coach, Brent Venables from Clemson. What makes this team so dangerous, and what makes them a little bit vulnerable? I know you don't want to give any kind of like locker room stuff, but look at both sides. What do they have good that's going on, and what do they have that, you know, they're struggling with right now?
I think number one is they want to win too. I mean, they're not used to losing ball games, and they're still special because they're super talented. I mean, you know, Oklahoma's always got special talent and, you know, 5-star type players, and you know, NFL type players and high draft pick type players. So we've got to go out there and play against a really good football team.
What is your message to the team this week?
Keep fighting. Play for the name on the front of the jersey and the name on the back of the jersey. Make West Virginia people proud, and as well, and your family as well, and give it all you got.
And I feel like this group, they are fighters. Yes, I mean, I don't feel like anybody has really thrown in the towel.
There's no quit in this team. There's no quit. As bad as it's been at moments, I could always look at myself in the mirror and look at these guys and say we gave it our best shot.
You know, when you are losing and have a losing streak, you know, you really kind of see what your team is made of. So what is this team made of?
They're made of a bunch of fighters. No matter what the scoreboard says or what the outside noise is, this team's a bunch of fighters, and they really care. You know, it doesn't go our way, and we obviously play to win, but they'll fight you.
We talked about Dante, obviously, but you have some other guys who are just really stepping up this year. Taj Austin, Jordan Jefferson. Just sort of talk about the D-line in general and those guys specifically. And who has anybody surprised you this year on the D-line?
Sean Martin's been 100% a surprise. He's gotten better every day, every game, and he's going to be another guy that's going to be the next Stills brother or the next great defensive lineman that comes through here, a West Virginia kid. Obviously, Jordan Jefferson's taken his game to a whole nother level. I think he's played the most consistent up front all year. And Taj is, you know, a guy that plays with great emotion and great passion. I mean, I really do love my group.
OU has the 4th best rusher in the Big 12 in Eric Gray. How important will it be for your line to really step up and stop him and kind of change the momentum that OU has going on in that position?
I think anytime you could stop the run and make a team one-dimensional, it plays great to your chances of winning the football game. And you know, Gray's a really good back who's I think is underrated. I think he's a guy that could be special and probably is special. So we have our work cut out for us.
when you have injuries to a team, we're going to have some guys in here for the next segment, one that Mountaineer fans love dearly. He went down. Okay, I'll just say it. CJ Donaldson. He's going to be my co-host for the next segment. But, as a coach, when you see guys go down, how rough is it? Not just for like the professional part of what you're doing, but personally to see these guys, they've put in this hard work, and some of these guys have had these season-ending injuries. What's that like as a coach?
It's difficult because there's not really much you could tell them. These guys see themselves as warriors and football players, and I think the biggest part is the amount of time it takes to heal. It's not a quick process, and in the moment it's really tough. But it's the toughest thing is push them through the pain in the rehab process, because that's when they get monotonous. They're away from their teammates. They're watching. They want to be out there, and I think that it's really important for them to attack it like they are playing, because those injuries start to linger and you don't recover as fast. So, you always wish you could trade their place. Like I tell CJ all the time, I wish I could give you my ankle, man. I really do, because he was fun to watch, and he's we talked offline, but he's a special kid.
Yeah, he really is. But then it also makes you excited for the future, because he is only a freshman. And if he did that his freshman year, he is going to be a special player for the Mountaineers.
Absolutely. Sky's the limit for that kid.
Yeah, absolutely. So West Virginia has never beaten OU since West Virginia entered the Big 12 in 2012. How nice would it be not just to get a win, but to get a win against the Sooners, a team that we've just never gotten over the hump with?
It'd be special to get a win like that at Mountaineer Field and kind of put a signature win for guys like Dante Stills and some of those seniors that are playing their final games coming up here this season and in their career. Just to have a win like, we beat one of the blue bloods out there in this conference, a team, that's going to be moving on to the SEC and things like that, have a lot of clout, a lot of playoff appearances. Be just great to say, we got those guys once.
Absolutely, especially in front of the home crowd. Like, they would love that. They would go nuts. For as disappointing as part of the season has been, here we are, and you guys still have a chance to be bowl eligible. You're going to have to win out the next 3, but it's not impossible. And here you are, still have a goal, something positive to look forward to. I know you guys take it one game at a time, but there is still a lot in this season left to play for.
Absolutely, and it's college football. Anything can happen on a Saturday. You go up, show up, play your game, and let the chips fall where they may. But, our goals are still in front of us. So, again, we have an opportunity to go out and play, home cooking, and a chance to give our fans something good to look forward to.
As a coach, how frustrating is it for you when things aren't going the way you had hoped for, when how talented these guys are, and sometimes it just comes down to maybe 1 or 2 little plays and it just changes everything?
Yeah, it's frustrating to the point, because as a coach, you really can't go out there and physically do anything to change it. Not that I would be good enough to do anything about it anyway. But you just want success for your players. The time they put in, the amount of work they do in the off season doesn't change. They didn't do anything less. They didn't do anything different than anybody else is doing. But those winning results are really kind of what put a stamp on what you've done in the off season to prepare, and the week by week to prepare for the games.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. Good luck this week against Oklahoma. And thank you so much, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, you are watching Climbing the Mountain. We will be right back. Yes, CJ Donaldson will be my co-host, and you'll find out who is sitting across from us. Stay with us. You're watching Climbing the Mountain, brought to you by Encova Insurance and Country Roads Trust. We'll be right back. This Climbing the Mountain podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome back to Climbing the Mountain, brought to you by Encova Insurance and Country Roads Trust. I am so glad to be joined by CJ Donaldson. CJ, first of all, our hearts broke when you went down in that TCU game. How are you feeling?
I was just trying to stay positive about the situation. My return will be coming soon, but nothing I really can do right now. I'm just trying to stay positive.
Well, we coaxed him into coming into the studio, so let's go ahead and introduce our guys here. We have Treylan Davis and Doug Nestor. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Are you afraid of what this guy's going to ask?
A little bit.
You
never know what he's going to say.
We had some good things to say before we got here in the studio. So, CJ, you, my friend, ask the first question. This is your show.
Okay, so started off, we play Oklahoma this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a big game, and it's a true blue game, right? If I'm not mistaken. So, what would that atmosphere be like for a person who, never played against Oklahoma? How would it be out there? How does it feel?
I mean, It's Mountaineer country. You know, it's always pretty crazy, but this game's special. I mean, we haven't beat them yet, so I'm sure this place is going to be crazy. People are going to be rooting for us, and I know we want this one bad going with how everything's been. And after the loss to them last year, it was a close one, so it's going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, to build off that, you know, obviously our season hasn't gone the way we wanted, but, you know, Mountaineer Nation still shows how much they love us and love the state. So, I mean, they're still going to be there, still be rocking, and, you know, to support us, and hopefully we can give them a show.
OU has some decent weapons, but this is kind of not the OU teams of the past. Of course, they have a brand new coach in Brent Venables who came from Clemson. So, you know, you guys have a lot to play for. Bowl eligibility is still on the line. I mean, you guys have 3 games left. There's still so much to play for. Are you excited to be getting Oklahoma right now? Because, like I said, they're sort of having a up and down year. You know, this could be the year you guys send them packing with their first loss since we've had them in the Big 12.
Yeah, so I think they've been, you know, improving each and every game. You know, watching film so far, I think they're a talented team. But, you know, we have a lot to prove still. And, I mean, we still have a lot to prove.
Yeah, I mean, we're a good team. They're a good team. They have athletes everywhere. They have guys that can do the job. And so do we. I mean, we got to show that. We got to come out and play a complete ball game, and I have no doubt that we will.
CJ, what's it like for you to be on the sidelines right now?
It's kind of a little different, you know. I just want to be out there with my guys, you know, celebrate with my team, playing with my family. But I'm just really trying to stay positive and, like, coach up the older guys, like the younger guys under me, like, you know, still coach them up so they'll be able to, like, play at a fast pace when they get in the game and things of that nature.
Yeah, for sure. So, Treylan, let's talk about you here. Tight end, you've really kind of come into your own here the past few games. You had a 17 yards against Texas Tech, 16 against TCU. So, you know, and your position coach really talked highly about you a couple podcasts ago, that you're sort of just kind of finding your niche. Obviously, Mike O'Loughlin went down, and you never want that. But if he's going to go down, somebody has to step up. And I know Mike would want somebody to step up. So just talk about kind of your progression and how you're playing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these last couple games, I've gotten the opportunity to step up and take over after Mike went down. I hate what happened to him. He's helped me. He's been a huge mentor to me since I got here last year. Every step of the way, if I needed him, he was there. So credits to him. But really, I've just been trying to gain confidence, more film, extra work in here with Coach Mike and staff. And, you know, every play I play, you know, it starts to come together a little more.
And, Doug, you've been on this team, obviously, for a couple of years now. You know, a lot of questions around the offensive line last year. You guys are much improved. I mean, everybody's talking about just how solid you guys are this year. What do you think is the biggest difference from last year to this year?
Honestly, I just think we grew up a little bit more. You know, we worked really hard in the off season on ourselves, and not just like in a football way, just everything. You know, we became closer as a group and really got to form, you know, a cohesive unit that we have tried to become since I've got here. And just the experience that everybody has now, and, you know, just like playing beside each other is something special in that room.
But we have to say that you guys are missing a big piece of that offensive line. James Gamitter, you know, we're just thinking about James with the loss of his mother. He's not playing right now. You know, missing him on the field, but just missing him as a friend as well. Like, how tough has that been for your group and honestly for everybody to see what he's been going through?
Oh, I mean, it's been rough. I can't imagine what he's going through. But, you know, he was, you know, we're locker mates, and I mean, we hang out pretty much every second we're here. And, you know, I really miss him, and I know it's rough, but I mean, you know, he's always one to put a smile on your face while you're in the meeting room. He was always one to crack jokes during practice, trying to lighten the mood, you know, when it gets rough. And, you know, just not having him out there is just, you know, it's a little heartbreaking.
I mean, CJ, these are the guys that block for you. You were having a phenomenal freshman season. You know, what does this group mean to you guys, or for you personally?
This group means a lot, really, because I see them, like, every day. They probably work the hardest out of everyone. Like, they take, like, as many snaps as possible to, like, try to perfect the run game for that week. Like, they prepare very well, and they try to keep me as clean as possible. So, you know, just not seeing them guys out there, you know, missing a mitter is, like, it was very tough. You know, I played, like 1 or 2 games without them. It was just, like, it didn't feel right.
Yeah. All right, take it away, CJ.
Okay, so how has practice been going since Iowa State? because I haven't been here. It's my first time being in the building in a week. So how has it been going?
I mean, right back onto it. We got to get better. We got to improve. A lot of things to fix. Going back to the basics of everything, focus on fundamentals.
Right.
Taking less out of the offense, just playing the game we know how to play. And we're just trying to perfect the little things.
So, Doug, this is a question for you. What do you think would be the key difference maker for us to close the game out against Oklahoma this week?
Yeah, I think the run game will be very important for us this week. The O-line is going to have to step up and, tight ends as well and prove that we can still run the ball because, last week wasn't our best performance. And, we got to come out there again and really prove that, we're here.
You were on pace to have a remarkable freshman season. Obviously, you had the concussion protocol game that you sat out. Now you're out with your ankle. What does this teach you as a freshman? I mean, you were going, and then now here we go, 2 injuries, sidetracked. And we talked about this earlier, never a good time to get injured. But if you're going to do it, maybe this is the time, and then you learn from this and move on. So what have you learned just from all of the trials and tribulations you've gone through this year?
Just trying to stay positive. You always got to try to find a positive throughout a negative situation. So it's really more of just like, I'm here with my team. I'm happy to still be here with them. I learned new things, like I have to take care of my body a certain way now. I can't do what I used to do when I was in high school. It's a business now, so I have to take care of my body. This is my money, right? This is my business,
right.
My body.
Yeah. What is it like for you guys? I mean, just anybody on the team, when somebody goes down and they're out maybe for a game or a season, what is that like for you guys to see one of your brothers go down, whether it's serious or not?
I'd say it's always a bad feeling. You never like seeing somebody hurt, especially someone you're close with. Like CJ, he's running behind us. We care about him. Hated to see him go down both times he went down. The first one was pretty scary, but this one lasted a little longer. And we miss him in the backfield. We miss having him around, the way he used to be. And we're just ready for him to be healthy again.
Yeah, so, seeing them, just out there down on the field is never a good feeling. You always get that, thought in the back of your head, like, oh no, what happened? But I mean, to be honest, in the middle of that game, you can't think about it too much. You go check on them, find out. You can't really find out right then, and then put it off until after the game, and then you can go check on them.
All right, you got great questions. You just keep going.
Nah, I can't keep going because I don't want to get too deep. There's certain questions that me, Treylan, and Doug talk about we can't talk about on the show.
Yes, you can. That's the whole beauty of this.
No.
We don't have to go too deep. I don't want, but, you can ask them personal questions, fun things.
So I'm saying, how has it been to have a day off from school? Because, I've been happy for that one. I've been waiting on that one. I'm not going to lie because, just that 8:30 class. I love school, but that 8:30 class be killing me every day. I got to wake up
He's got the
early.
freshman schedule.
Yeah, he's got the early classes.
So I have 7 classes, too. So this day off, I'm enjoying this one.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Make it count.
Yeah, just wait till you get older. Classes will get later.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're only there for about an hour, then you're done for the day.
Yeah.
It's the fact of me going to class. Like, I got 3 classes in person every day. Like,
it's rough.
Every day. So
You're doing well in it, though.
Yeah.
That's right. You just got to stay. That's what freshmen have to do, right?
Yeah.
You got to pay your dues, CJ.
Yeah.
You got to pay your dues.
Growing pains.
Treylan, we were talking about this earlier. You're from Jackson, Ohio, down on the border there. What was it about WVU that you said, this is where I want to go?
I've got a lot of family in this area, a lot of family roots here. My family, my grandfathers, my great-grandfathers were coal miners here in West Virginia, and it's a big coal thing here, and it's a coal mining country. So it just was really cool to keep that going in our family history. And I've had family graduate from here, actually, and my family's able to make ball games. So it tied back to my family and being close to home. And I really love it here. I love the coaching staff and the fans here. Everybody loves football, and I'm one of those guys, and I just love how it is here.
CJ, what else you got for him?
Well, I actually never asked Doug this question, though, ever.
Okay.
So since, Doug, you originally went to Virginia Tech, right?
Correct.
So I'm saying, when you hit the transfer portal, what made you decide to stay close to home instead of going outside of somewhere, go somewhere else?
So growing up, my dad worked out of town a lot and was never able to, see a lot of my games. And, he's got to a point now where he can come to every college game. So I wanted to make sure that every home game was, easily accessible for him.
Yeah. Well, see, somebody like me, I'm from Miami. I wanted to be as far as home as possible. I did not want to stay there at all.
That's true.
So I wanted to be far away, but that is a great
Really?
idea.
Why? Like a lot of guys want to play, a lot of players want to play close, maybe not in their hometown, but closer to home. But why did you want to flee?
Because you got to get used to being uncomfortable. You got to make uncomfortable situations feel comfortable. So I just wanted to like try something new. I'm always the guy who like wanted to be an outsider. I ain't ever want to be inside the box. I want to be outside. So I'm like, okay, let me just try West Virginia. It's like different state. It get cold there. I've never been in the cold weather before. I'm used to 80 degrees in December.
Hey, it's been like 80 degrees in November.
Yeah,
I don't know
maybe
what
that's
this
the CJ
has been.
effect.
I don't know what's going on here. I'm not a fan though. I like the cold weather.
I'm sure you guys do.
Yeah, I just started to get used to the cold weather too, because I'm thinking like when I go back home, it's like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna like that 80 degrees. I'm getting so used to the 60s in the morning,
Oh,
45s at night. I'm like, yeah, that's good right
Yeah,
there.
that's
Perfect.
good.
Yeah,
Well,
so.
that's good. That's why we need you at West Virginia for the weather. So I had to laugh because before we got into the studio here, I thought this was pretty funny. You were talking about how cool it is to be able to watch a game back and have the announcers call out your name. And Doug, what did you say to him when he said that? Because I just thought, that tickled me.
Oh, I said, not many freshmen get to do what you do and get to, watch the game and see themselves, carrying the ball for 200 yards a game. So, it's pretty impressive what he's done so far, and, hopefully he can continue it on.
Well, my job really not that hard. All I do is run behind y'all.
Yeah, the pressure's on you guys, apparently, not him.
Yeah, that's true.
The hole be too big. I just run right behind y'all. Free touchdown.
Let's go.
Well, guys, we appreciate this. CJ, do you have anything else you want to add? I mean, I've loved your questions. You got good vibes here.
I don't think I want to. I'm really looking at Treylan, you feel me? So I'm saying, Treylan, when you go finally get in that end zone, when you go finally touch that box, you feel me?
Hey, that's-
Because you had one opportunity to make somebody miss, but you got caught.
Yeah,
You feel me? So,
yeah. I don't know, man. Whenever it goes, whenever I can, I'm trying to get there. That's for sure. I want that.
Well, you're a great blocker, so we'll take that. You make great blocks. You ain't got to always score, you feel me? You make contested catches, you do your job. That's all that
Appreciate
matters.
that, man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, that is an interesting aspect of your position because, obviously you see it when you make a nice grab, but you're out there blocking a lot, which is you're kind of like the unsung hero. Like people don't really realize how important your role is. So do you like catching the ball better or blocking?
I don't really know. Like I love the whole position as a whole. Like that's what's cool about tight ends. Now you never get bored. Like one play you're blocking like a lineman would. Next play you're running routes. Then you're in the I lined up in the backfield against Iowa State to lead block for Garrett. So you're kind of everywhere, and it makes it a lot of fun. I don't know. I like being balanced. I like to block and catch.
Well, Doug Nestor, Treylan Davis, thank you so much. CJ Donaldson, we appreciate having you. Get well.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you on the field next year and following up this freshman campaign with some more even amazing runs out there. Nice job in the studio, too.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
You guys for watching Climbing the Mountain, brought to you by Encova Insurance and Country Roads Trust. Of course, you can find Country Roads Trust on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. We're everywhere. And if you'd like more information about joining and being able to support athletes like these gentlemen, you can go to join.countryroadstrust.com. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next week. This Climbing the Mountain podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind.